The sky cracked open above my cornfield, and I already knew my life was about to end or change forever. I did not run. I did not scream. I put down my coffee cup on the porch railing and walked back inside for my old shotgun, because whatever was coming down from that burning sky was too big to ignore and too close to outrun. My name is Daniel Marsh, and 15 years ago, I found 2 dying babies in a crashed pod in this same field. Tonight, something enormous was landing in that same spot, and I had a feeling it was here for them. The ship came down without a sound, without even bending the tall grass beneath it, which was somehow more frightening than an explosion would have been. A ramp opened, and light spilled out like water. A tall figure stepped onto my land, its skin shifting colors like oil on glass, its voice smooth and translated into perfect English before it even opened its mouth. "The lost blood of the hive has been found," it said. "We have come for what belongs to the queen." Behind me, the screen door creaked. My children were standing there, Vey and Rue, 15 years old, barefoot on the porch steps, staring at the ship with wide eyes. I had raised them since they were small enough to fit in one hand each, since the night I found their pod half buried in burned soil, their tiny chests glowing faintly with heartbeats that did not belong to any human child. I never told anyone what they were. Not the doctors, not the government, not even my closest friends. I taught them to hide the way their veins lit up when they were scared or excited. I taught them to blink twice, human style, instead of the strange sideways flutter that came naturally to them. I raised them as my own, and they grew up calling me Dad without a single moment of hesitation. Now a warship was sitting in my cornfield, and a stranger with shifting skin was telling me my children were royalty from a species I had spent 15 years trying to protect them from. "You will not take them," I said, and my voice came out steadier than I expected. The figure tilted its head, almost amused. "You are one man. This is an escort fleet of the Hive Queen. You cannot stop us." "Maybe not," I said. "But they can decide for themselves. That has always been the rule in this house." Vey stepped down from the porch first, and I felt my heart drop into my stomach. Her eyes had gone slightly luminous, catching the light from the ship like a cat's eyes catching headlights. Rue followed right behind her, his jaw tight, his hands curled into fists at his sides. "What is happening?" Vey asked, and for the first time in years, she sounded like a scared little girl instead of the confident teenager who struck out batters on her school baseball team every weekend. The messenger's attention shifted to them, and its posture changed, softened, almost reverent. "Children of the Queen, you were stolen from her, the night rivals attacked her nest, and scattered her eggs across the stars to save your lives. Shay has searched every system since. Come home. Your true family is waiting." I watched my children's faces, and something inside me ached in a way I had never felt before. There was a pull happening. I could see it. Some instinct buried deep in their biology, responding to a call 15 years of human upbringing could not fully silence. Their veins pulsed faintly beneath their skin, blue and gold light moving like slow lightning. But then Rue turned around, and he looked straight at me. "Dad," he said, just that one word, and it landed heavier than anything the messenger had said. The messenger's smooth expression flickered, just slightly, like it had not expected resistance from creatures it considered lost property rather than people. "This is not your decision to make," it said to me, its voice losing some of its earlier calm. "The hive claims its own." I stepped between my children and the ramp, shotgun lowered, but not put away, because I needed them to understand I was serious, without needing to threaten anyone. "I read about your kind," I said. 15 years of nights when I could not sleep. I read everything I could find, every scrap of information any deep space researcher had ever published about hive law, and I know something you are hoping I do not. The messenger went very still. "Your own laws state that no offspring can be claimed against their will once they reach the age of choosing," I continued. "On Earth, that age is set by the family that raised them. I raised them. 15 is old enough in my house to have a voice in their own future." For a long moment, nobody moved. The wind pushed through the corn behind us, rustling like a held breath. Then the ship itself responded, not the messenger, but something deeper, a voice that seemed to come from everywhere at once, low and resonant, shaking gently through the ground beneath our feet. "You dare speak of law to me, small creature." The queen herself. Her voice was not cruel, not exactly, but it carried the weight of something ancient and used to being obeyed without question. Panels along the ship's hull lit up, and an image formed in the air above the ramp, a massive figure, part insectoid, part something almost regal, crowned in bioluminescent patterns that mirrored the ones flickering nervously across my children's skin. "I have crossed 100 systems searching for my lost young," the queen said. "I felt them die 1,000 times in my nightmares, and now I find them alive, raised by a single insect of a species that lives less than 100 years, and you tell me I cannot claim what is mine?" "They are not things to claim," I said. "They are people, your people, maybe, by blood, but mine too, by every single day I spent teaching them to walk, feeding them when they were sick, staying up all night when they had nightmares they could not explain, because you weren't there to explain them." Silence again, longer this time. Vei's hand found mine, her fingers trembling slightly. Rue moved to stand on my other side, shoulder to shoulder with me, facing the ship like we were one unit, instead of 3 separate beings from 2 different worlds. "We want to know where we come from," Vei said, her voice stronger now, aimed directly at the projection of the queen. "We want to understand what we are, but we are not leaving him behind. If that is not allowed, then your law means nothing to us either." The queen's projection flickered, and for just a moment, something in her posture changed, something almost fragile beneath all that power and armor. "You would choose a stranger over your own blood?" she asked, quieter now. "He is not a stranger," Rue said. "He is our father. You are our history. Those are 2 different things, and we get to choose both if we want." The messenger beside us shifted uncomfortably, clearly unused to negotiations that did not end in simple compliance. I kept my eyes on the projection, watching the queen process something that had probably never been offered to her before, defiance wrapped in genuine affection instead of anger. "I lost an entire nest that night," the queen finally said. "Rivals to my throne poisoned the birthing chamber, scattered the surviving eggs into the void, hoping every single one would die alone in the dark. Only 2 survived. I searched every star chart, every abandoned colony, every drifting wreck for 15 of your Earth years, refusing to believe they were gone." Her voice cracked slightly on the last word, and I realized, with a strange twist in my chest, that I was looking at another parent. Different species, different scale, same terrifying love that makes you cross impossible distances for your children. "I am not trying to erase what you found," I said, softer now. "I am asking you to let it exist alongside what you lost. They can know you. They can learn where they come from. But I raised them, and I am not walking away from that, and I do not think you would respect them more if I did." The projection of the queen studied the 3 of us for a long moment, her many eyes moving between our faces, like she was reading something written in a language only she understood. "What would you have me do, small creature?" she asked, and there was no mockery left in the question at all. "Let them choose their path," I said. "Let them visit their birth species, learn their history, understand what they carry inside them, and let me come too, not as a prisoner, not as an enemy, but as their father, because that is what I am, and no fleet in the galaxy changes that fact." Another silence stretched between us, tense enough that I could hear my own heartbeat in my ears. Then the queen's projection dipped its massive head, just slightly, a gesture that felt oddly close to a bow. "Very well," she said. "The hive does not often bend, but the hive also does not often meet loyalty like this. You may come, all 3 of you. Let us see what 15 years of human devotion has built." The messenger stepped back, visibly startled by the decision, but did not argue. The ramp lights shifted from red to a calmer gold, an invitation instead of a demand. Vei looked up at me, her eyes bright, half nervous, half excited. Rue squeezed my shoulder once, the way he always did before a big game, like he was steadying both of us at the same time. "You ready, old man?" he asked, a small grin breaking through the tension. I looked back at my house, the porch light still glowing, the coffee cup still sitting where I had left it minutes ago, that felt like a lifetime ago. Then I looked at the ship, waiting patiently now instead of threatening, and at my children standing beside me, choosing me, even with an entire empire calling them home. "Let's go meet the family," I said, and together, the three of us walked up the ramp into the light, leaving Earth behind for the first time, but never once leaving each other.